So we're gonna go over just nightly breakdowns and nightly Atmo. It's something that I was completely against whenever I first started this program. Like coming back to the office after a long day in the field, no one's gonna want to do that. But to be honest with you, the retention of the reps, making it more fun, actually just having a great time and being able to almost diagnose the negatives before they go home from the field, it makes it a lot easier to be able to retain specifically new people. It also helps to develop your leaders at a higher level. And last thing too, when you start to grow a bigger office, it helps you to prepare for the next day, which is one of the worst things you can have is you're going into the next day, you're completely unprepared. I'm running multiple campaigns, so the last thing I want to do is go into the next day and not have lead situated or anything like that. So what Night Atmo is good for, there's really 4 things that I go over every single night. All right, so the first thing is going to be the nightly breakdown. And the nightly breakdown is really simple to go over. Right, what you're looking at is this right here. So I'll put the rep's name right here. So let's say it's Jose. Okay, I'll be like, I'm Mr. Jose. What did you do good today? So I'm gonna do 3 positive things from today. I want to look at things they did positive towards the system, right? So like if they worked the system, did 100 doors, right? Had 45 talk tos, whatever, PMA, kept their pace. I'm looking for those things during this time whenever I'm actually talking to the rep, right? And if they can't think of 3 things that are positive when we start this conversation, probably was a really shitty day. You probably should have a big one-on-one with them, because the last thing you want to do is like, I did absolutely nothing positive when you're having this conversation, so not going to be good for you or the rep. So make sure you just take your time, really try and dig deep, and also build confidence when you're going through this, because your very next thing after you build the positives is going to be, all right, what do we need to work on, right? So right here I'm going on, what do we need to work on for tomorrow? So working on, I'm looking at different techniques, like for instance, did you struggle with closing, okay? Was it an issue whenever you were in the field? So things to be able to work on. So for instance, whenever you were in the field, right? Did I not go through the 2-lap system? All right, did I not close hard enough? Was my transition from Sarah Plus to the actual iPad, was it bad? Did I get any credit checks, right? So I'm looking for these 3 things, or really multiple different things whenever I'm going through the actual system, one thing to work on for the next day. And this is also what I'm gonna build my stations around for tomorrow as well. So whenever I'm going into tomorrow, I'm gonna build my stations around these 3 things. So what do my stations look like? Is it gonna be focused on the actual intro whenever I make the hook? All right, is it gonna be focused on more of the transition from Sarah Plus to closing, or from Quick Quote to Sarah Plus? And the next one right here is just their actual sales for today. So I wanna know 3 things. What's their credit checks, okay? How many sales, and then how many lines? So I'm gonna put that right here, credit check, sales, lines. And then lastly, they'll make goals for tomorrow. So let's say they did 1 sale, 2 lines today. I'm like, all right, cool, we definitely wanna pick that up. We should at least be doing 2 sales, 5 lines tomorrow. That's our goal. So this is what you're looking for when it comes to your nightly breakdowns. Now after that, all right, one thing I'm focusing on is the territory feedback form. The territory feedback form, it's a Google sheet that I created. It's very simple. All they have to do is they're gonna go in, they're gonna go through what day they hit, so how many leads they hit. And they're also gonna go over the demographic of the area, which is extremely important. So sometimes you'll look at something like, for instance, there's a zip code today, it was 33014, right? If you look on the demographic sheet, it said 92% white. Okay, it was 100% Cuban. Okay, so it was not what the area looked like overall. So what we're looking for as a territory feedback form is I want to get information on where the territory is at, because it doesn't make sense to send someone that only speaks English to that same sheet the next time. So that's what that feedback form is for. This is required every single night. This goes into a spreadsheet so I can track each sales form. Next one is in sales transfers. This is extremely important for new starts. They need to make sure they know they're getting paid. So for instance, if I'm going through with a new start right here, and I'm not going over the 70-30 split, if I'm not going over those little things every single time, then how does that new start know they're getting paid and what they're getting paid? It's extremely important here. And then last thing is one-on-one with me. Right, this is really important. If I'm the one doing the nightly breakdown, then I probably won't do the one-on-one unless it's necessary, right? But if someone else, like a leader's doing the breakdown, then the one-on-one with me is required before you leave. It's just so I can get a feel for every single rep in the office and we're good to go. The goal is to scale this from 20 people to 60, 70, 80. Obviously, once you have 80 people in the office, it'll be impossible to do a one-on-one with everyone, but you're also having the leader shadow that one-on-one so they get used to doing the exact same thing. So this is the basics of Night Atmo. And then once I finish these things, I'll have A players or level 3 people stay back. And then we're gonna go over preparation for the next day. So we're looking for what do car rides look like. Okay, perfect. Who's gonna be here tomorrow? Let's make sure everyone's here on pace. What new starts do we have? How many sales do they do? How are leads? Like, we're going through all of that before we even get in tomorrow, right? So this is all done today, so we don't have any issues. That was one thing that I truly screwed up with, to be honest with you, right? I'm the only one that touches the leads right now. I'm the only one doing these little things just to make sure I'm in complete control before we start to expand and grow it, okay? I hope this helps, guys. Appreciate you.